¡Hey! Ya lo sabe.
Are you ready? I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dude is so bad. I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Hey, you being with me, that's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just, I hate that I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, being a great war. Maybe with a Mexican. I have to put the joke.
No. Hey,
thank you.
Perfect for play, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing, man.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Wepa! I know you've been waiting for this, your favorite Sunday show. Ladies and gentlemen, LongLiveBoxing and EnVivo podcast of money. Siempre en vivo, Marrero.
Shout Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper! Always breaking it down like it is, like it should be. And our boy Hopper is out on the road. We can actually hear.
Got a lot of appointments, man. Planning for a quinceañera is no joke, man.
It's no joke, man. But we appreciate him having, coming up here, jumping on board, talking about a lot of stuff that's happened this last week in boxing and shocking news as it pertains to fights that, we never thought they were going to happen. As a matter of fact, they are going to happen. And Gringo should be pretty damn excited about this one. But, Gringo, what do we have today besides Super Bowl?
Well, yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. What's up, guys out there listening either live or on the podcast audio version later on? We appreciate you all the time, every day. It's a great thing. So here are my brothers and got a lot of things to get off our chest. Say it with your chest. Talk about Teófimo's trainer change, coinciding with Ryan Garcia's trainer change. That came out of nowhere. Get into Canelo's choice as far as DAZN over PBC. Talk a little bit about Daniel Jacobs and then news and notes, and then wrap this bad boy up and get ready to have a fun Super Bowl Sunday. So let's get to it. Right out the gate, my brother Hopper, the man, the myth, the legend, driving the quinceañera glory. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts to Teófimo, just kind of where he's at right now, because like the intro said, or the header, don't kill the header.
Don't burn the lead, brother.
The lead. Don't burn the lead.
This is so many dynamics to it, because it was one of the things that was kind of surreal to me when it was announced, because my thoughts was, Eddy Reynoso is about guys that obviously have talent, have championship pedigree, and have the willingness to, sacrifice and work hard. So what's your thoughts on, not saying Teófimo's not possessed that at some point, but he's just such a weird place right now. So what's your thoughts on the new team announced?
Man, that came out of nowhere itself, man. I think that there's a lot of connections there to Ryan Garcia as well. But the fact that Teófimo López is in there, I guess you can kind of see the writing on the wall to a lot of these things. How he was buddies with Canelo, and Canelo was it looked like he was kind of taking him under his wing. After when Teófimo went up there with all his belts as well. So, maybe they established a friendship, and all reports indicate that he was already out there training with Reynoso just to see if it's a good fit for both. And I haven't heard anything negative on the opposite side, but I'm sure they told him, like, look, here, man, in Reynoso's camp, you can love him or you can hate him, but Canelo and his team, they put in the work. There's no denying that. So I think Teófimo López, he has to understand that, because they're all about business in there, man. They eat, sleep, shit boxing. So that's what it's all about in that gym. And I think this is probably what Teófimo López needs to get him focused, get him back on track. I know you guys, I've made no secret about my thoughts on Kambosos and Teófimo. I thought Kambosos was more at the right place, right time. I think he's more Buster Douglas, if anything else, if you ask me. But hopefully this gets Teófimo López refocused and back to the killer coming that day. What's so? So hopefully this gets Teófimo López refocused, re-energized, maybe at a new weight, new division. I'm excited to see, man, because sometimes a boxer needs a reality check, and he got it. So the fact that he's joining a stellar super team like this is a step in the right direction.
Gringo, you're muted.
You're muted, Gringo. I don't think it's official yet, but I mean, it's not official yet, is it, Gringo?
No, it's not official, but like to my brother Hopper's point, they're working together, and it seems like they're going towards that direction, and it seems like a strong possibility. So just the fact to be that it's even being considered on this point and this level, and then also to add to it, JC, shout out to you for listening live. We really appreciate it. That, the other story, which we'll get to, another announcement that's actually subtraction. So subtraction, however you want to look at it, and we'll get to that in a bit. But first, Manny, what's your thoughts, man? Just on Teófimo, where he's at. We know that you love the lightweight division. We know you're a Lomachenko fan. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, talking about Teófimo right now, if this does actually come to fruition, and it looks like it's going that direction, what's your thoughts on where he is right now in his career?
Well, I want to first of all focus on the need, right? There's a want, but there's a need. And I think that Teófimo, to get to a different state of mind in boxing and learn a little bit more and get to that elite status, we always talk about this to great fighters. Fighters, they have great potential. And adding yourself to a stable and the work ethic and everything that the Reynoso gym can bring to their professional career, it's huge. It's huge. But here's my concern. The drama. And the drama already started. And Teo is drama. Okay? One trying to go in, the other one trying to leave.
And his dad.
So my question would be is Teo going to handle the pressure of, you are not number one there? You are maybe 3, maybe 4 in that camp. That is Canelo's camp. And if you can't bite yourself to understand that you're not the 100% of the attention, with all the drama that Teo brings, is that something healthy for them? Especially his father is always sticking his nose in every business. He should be doing that. It's his son. But is that something that Teófimo will be able to absorb, digest without bringing it into drama? Right? I don't know. I don't think so. Is that a distraction? I mean, are we actually all of a sudden seeing, some of these great boxers trying to join the best, current trainer there is right now? Yes. But is that something healthy at the end of the day? That's the question. And for me right now, yes, great job, Teo. You acknowledge you need something better to get to that elite status, especially if you're moving up in 140 pounds, which is a very difficult decision. However, listen to me, because we always talked about the whole novela and drama about Teófimo López. Is that going to be healthy for his career, staying away and also sticking with what you, I'm not saying you deserve, but standing in and sticking to your place that you're going to have in that stable, knowing Teo and his corner? I don't know. I don't think so. So good job for thinking about that, but is it the right move for him? No.
Okay, man. Appreciate it.
Bringing up the heat.
No, but there's a lot of good validity to that because
there's a good point because he is a distraction. He is, especially the run up to the Cambosos fight. Yep. I mean, and we all saw it. Teófimo was turned very diva-ish after his win in Lomachenko. Thought he was already. It sounded like he was already writing himself down to the Hall of Fame. So and he turned very diva-ish. So that's a good point, Manny. But maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe this is what he needs with Reynoso, to refocus, to get cut all the other BS out and get back to where he was. Because remember, all in his lead up all the way up into defeating Lomachenko. I mean, we thought this guy was the goods. We thought he was the next big thing, and then just lost his focus and So
And
I mean,
still,
maybe
at the
this
end
is
of the
just what he did.
day, Tio does whatever he wants, and he was able to do it with his father. You can't do that with the trainer and the caliber of Eddy Reynoso. And so I'm going to tell you right now, the drama's already started. One trying to come in, and we'll talk about it later, Gringo mentioned, but one also leaving. So is that already starting to develop something that, would Eddy really want that in his stable, right? I'm sure Eddy can say, listen, yeah, I'd love to, but these are my standards. This is where I stand for. And then you got, on the other end, you got some other guys like, Andy Ruiz, another
Frank Sanchez,
I mean,
Valdez.
listen, it's just I don't know. If I was Eddy Reynoso, I have something good and special going on that I don't want to just to get another caliber, talented individual in my gym. I don't want that soap opera.
You're saying he's a cancer. That's what I'm getting
Sorta.
at.
Thank you for summarizing everything.
So he's a cancer. You don't want the cancer in that locker room. Hey, but maybe if you're a Canelo hater, that's what you want. Get the cancer up in there and just screw things up for everybody.
I gotta realize as a fan, and if I'm putting my my trainer hat, which I'm not a trainer, but if I'm just gonna do it for just a few minutes,
you tried.
I mean, my focus has to be Canelo. Canelo right now, if you think about it, we'll talk about it. There are fights that we never thought they were going to happen, and now we see that opportunity there. So, man, if you can go by just by knowing that you're not the main attraction on the Reynoso's gym, then you're fine with it. But I just don't think Tio would want more than that. And does he deserve that? Yeah, I guess. But listen, man, you just came in right now. I got some other guys that I got to pay attention to.
So
they're loyal and they're successful.
So he's the Kyrie Irving of the whole bunch, huh?
Oh, the Antonio Brown.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Gringo, what do you think, man? What are your thoughts on Teófimo López's connection with Reynoso, possibly?
Yeah. So just real quick on that. On paper, I think it could potentially work because obviously Eddy Reynoso's he looked great as far as developing people and working on their defense, which all fighters could use that. He works with champions. Now, that being said, and just take the whole attitude and mindset out of it. The concern I have is the move up, and the fact that as difficult as 135, those guys weren't necessarily fighting. At 140, they are fighting, and they have that. I'm not really sure. Taylor. So I don't know if Eddy Reynoso is going to want to have a guy that is not going to be a title holder again. I don't see Teófimo López going to 140 having great success. Will he have success in good fights and be entertaining? Absolutely. I like to watch him fight, despite some of the shenanigans on the outside. But I think 140, a lot of challenges and problems, that's going to be very difficult to overcome. To me, when you look at 140, the top three guys, I can't see him beating any of those guys.
Well, I disagree with you, Gringo, because I think he's got a better chance than Andy Ruiz having another title at the heavyweights, right? For me. And maybe you have someone that is more committed to the training. But the problem that I think Reynoso might encounter as well is the negotiation part of it. Is he going to be okay with the money? Like he'd already started with Loma, and then he kept going on like with Cambosos. So all that behind the scenes also as well, the trainers may not be involved, but they're going to advocate for them as well. And is that something that Reynoso really wants to have? That extra additional, shit going on and shit show that happens within the negotiations? No, but honestly, I think Teófimo has a much better chance at capturing a belt than even Andy Ruiz.
At 140? At where? At 140 or 135?
Well, at 140.
I give him a good shot at 140. I mean,
140 he could fight Josh Taylor. I'm not saying he's going to beat Josh Taylor. I can't predict anything right now, but he could potentially be a really good mega fight against Josh Taylor. Or even the winner of Pedraza and Jose Carlos Ramirez. That will be a very good, interesting fight for him to jump in at the 140, right?
Yeah. Man, I think maybe not right away. I think maybe he should probably test the waters with somebody else at 140 before going in there with those killers. Because those guys, they're proven commodities at 140. They're the cream of the crop, the elite in that division. But yeah, I don't know, Gringo. I'm gonna have to slightly disagree with you. I think Teófimo can be competitive at 140 because from what we hear and what we understand is he was struggling to make 135 pounds as it is.
Right.
So if he's a little more refreshed and from not having to cut all that weight at 140 pounds, and if he's feeling a little stronger, it's a 5-pound difference. I think he can make a run at 140 pounds if he's refocused, takes the training back to where it needs to be.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, look what happened with you call him Lazy Ruiz. You know, he didn't look spectacular against Chris Arreola, but by all indications, he's taking his training back to where it got him there. You know, his the workouts, the tree trunk legs that are showing that he's been just massively chiseling in the gym. So I mean, I don't know, Gringo. I think he could probably make a decent run at 140 pounds. If Josh Taylor moves up and vacates the belt, that opens up a world of opportunities for Top Rank to line him up for a belt pretty fast.
So I mean, hey, you know, respect to you guys, and I respect your opinion. We'll see. He will have some problems, you know. I think for sure. I think even a fight if they announce right now, you know, Teófimo López versus Zapata, I think that'd be difficult.
Oh, that's a great fight. I would love that.
I love that.
Oh, I think, man, I don't know. I would have to. Dang, that's a good one, Gringo. I don't know who you have me favoring on that one. I'd probably give it the edge to Chon. As it is right now, I'd slightly favor. I think so, man. I think so. Like if Teófimo was supposed to go up and fight Chon in his first fight, yeah, I'm gonna give the edge to Chon Zapata. But maybe after 2-3 fights, then see how Teófimo looks at 140 pounds. I'll come back and reevaluate that. You know.
And that's all I'm saying. So like, it wasn't necessarily not compete. You know, he can definitely compete, but I think going deeper in the waters, like the top 5 guys, like Chon Zapata, you know, going against Regis Prograis, that's when you know you have some real challenges.
Yeah, that's
no, stay away from Regis.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, what do you think the guy that's always trying to, you know, to fight some of those that are moving up in weight? He did it with Tank Davis. He did it, also moved up and did it with Thurman. How about Barrios? Let's test with Barrios. Barrios like that, you know, we talked about it last week.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
You know what I mean?
Roadblock, you know.
Yep. Barry goes back to 140 and stays in the same shape he's been fighting the last, you know, 2 fights. And I think that, hey, another good payday for Mario Barrios, El Azteca. Oye, Subriel kills Tio. Oye, that's that's really good, especially that last fight.
Subriel is a talented guy, man.
I think Subriel, that would be a very, very nice also as well.
Nice competitive
and you know,
fight.
Top Rank really can actually make that happen, since you know, Bob Aaron's well known about, you know, just collecting his percentage and having someone else build up the cards on the pay-per-view. So now,
Cano, are you a little biased on that one, or just maybe un poquito. Just like I was favoring Chon Zapata, so maybe I'm a little biased myself.
No, I think Chon Zapata has a much better, and the reason why his style. I think Subriel needs to learn a little bit more defense and not get caught up too much, because Tio got more power. And Tio's really gonna, you know, possibly can definitely hurt him if you just stay there in the middle of the ring, just exchanging punches. So there's a lot of work needs to be done on the Subriel Matias side, but I think that'd be a really good one. So, you know, back to Hopper's point, there is a lot of non-champions, good competitors that I think Tio can definitely, come up there, and then absolutely.
No, that's a great points, brothers. And we got another comment here from Kind of Local Sports. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the source. When people say I got a source, that's Kind of Local Sports, man. He's no bias. Tio is gone mentally, in my opinion. And hey, that's a fair.
That's fair. That's very fair, because and that's what leads me to the whole what I said earlier. You know, maybe Reynoso can get him refocused, but Teófimo in his Cambosos fight mentally, he looked out of it. I mean, they just looked done. So, you know, maybe resharpen it. But that's a fair point, Kano. You're right. You're 100% right about that one.
All right, good job. So good stuff there. And then shout out to Chicano Prophet, the man from out Chile, checking in. We appreciate you, HCP. So here's the thing, man. We got to get to it, because, man, we can talk about Teófimo all day, what he is, what he isn't, and what he might not be. But this is, and I know that our man JC asked, is it official? Is this official? Ryan Garcia says, you know what, Eddie Reynoso, I got to go, man. I'm going to Goosen and his denim suits, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it to the top. So what's your thoughts on that, man? I did not see that coming. about Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, no, definitely. I thought that was, you know what? I kind of saw it coming because when Canelo and Reynoso went public with their statements a while back, kind of calling out Ryan, I think that was because they're not going to call him out initially. You know, I'm sure they talked to him and it wasn't working, so they called him out publicly. And I think I know I used this phrase earlier, but the writing was on the wall for Ryan as well. We're in the era of man. I'm gonna just say we're in the era of entitled brats who can't handle criticism, and as soon as it gets a little difficult, they check out. They're out. And you know, like I said earlier, Reynoso's camp, whether you love or hate Canelo, they grind. They put in the work. And I don't think Ryan was about that. You know, he's more of a making flashy videos for Instagram likes and so on and so forth. So, and he went with Joe Goosen, a respected trainer, but I mean, when's the last time he had some good success? What was it? Chico Corrales, rest in peace. Chico Corrales, that was a while back. Who is he training now? Lipinets and Areola. I think those are some of his
well, I mean, talking to Areola, we thought we were completely done, and look how he fought against Andy Ruiz. So
he looked good against Ruiz. Yeah.
Yep. So
good point. And hopefully it works out for Ryan, because I don't know. I'm just starting to look into a little more. You know, trying to read between the lines. Do you think maybe he was a little butthurt? The fact that Teófimo was going in there and in talks with Reynoso. The fact that Canelo was sending signed gloves to Tank. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Ryan did, like I said, entitled brats, divas, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe he got a little butthurt and didn't like what Canelo and them were doing. So he said, I'm out.
No, that's a great point. I mean, you can always go into a situation and have the expectations of how it will play out. But once you're actually in there, I mean, we could talk about the all-star stable. But in the mind, even Canelo, we know, is the man, you know, currently right now. And especially in that stable, we don't know how Ryan Garcia felt about that. You know, clearly he felt some kind of way because he's gone. Comment here. Our man, Kind of Local Sports. Hey, brother, you're anytime you want to join this panel, man, come on. We know you're the man. Shout out to you.
We got some Amanda Serrano to talk about, Cano. Así que vamos a darle.
Hopper is on point on the Ryan situation. Absolutely, man. There's definitely some concerns that I've always felt, and those are just coming out more and more to the public as things kind of just unfold and devolve. You know, because the standpoint of if they're working hard, they're grinding out there in Eddy Reynoso's camp with Canelo and the other guys in that stable, and you know, respect, because you know, obviously there's a lot of things people deal with. I mean, you know, dealing with mental demons and challenges.
Issues. Yeah, that's all separate.
And then your promoter, his promoter's got worse mental demons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
issues around there for sure. So Manny, what's your thoughts as far as like the decision? Is it a good one? It's just something that just had to happen.
Absolutely. You know, here's the thing, man. I mean, everyone wants to be where the action's at, and I think that we talked a little bit about Teo going into the Reynoso, and now we're talking about someone exiting, you know, that camp. Whether it's because he wants more attention, whether it's because he doesn't feel it at this particular time, whether it's his promoter. I mean, you know, yeah. I think first of all, Ryan, if he was going to do a fresh start. You got to start from scratch. I don't think he has anything to complain other than probably he's not the attention that he wants or he thinks he deserves. But I think that a fresh start completely could be beneficial to his career. I have no problem with that. My problem is the demands. My problem is who I am, who I think I am, who I really am. And all the hype built up only through social media, you have to walk the walk. If you know, if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. So I'm okay with it. I really am. You know, Virgil Ortiz didn't pick Reynoso's camp for a reason. You know, he's leaving out there. Teo wants to have that smoke, but sometimes be careful what you wish for, because the reality right now is that is Eddy Canelo's Reynoso stable camp. That's about it. And if you can't stand that and it boils your blood, then you're not going to last long in there.
If it hurts your ego.
It hurts your ego, exactly. And I think, you know, behind what De La Hoya's trying to build Ryan's career right now, it's all about most of the talk. So, you know, yes, we're going to finally see most likely Ryan Garcia fight against Emmanuel Tago. And then after that, let's see how he's working, how his state of mind, and let's see how Gooden can help him, develop himself. And we know for a fact he's talented, he's young, he's got a lot of traction, got a lot of going on for him. And he, come on, just think about this: the way he fought Luke Campbell. And I know, Hopper, this is your boy. This is Luke at his best. He actually retired Luke Campbell, and Luke Campbell really, really hurt him bad, to the point that we never seen him like that. We never thought about him getting back up, and he did. So the caliber of a fighter that Ryan Garcia is, we need someone to be able to lift that up, maintain him humble, and then get into that next level and continue to compete at the 135. For me, I like the move. I just need to see what can Gooden do for him.
Yeah, and they were familiar with each other, if I'm not mistaken. I think Gooden was Ryan's trainer. They were Ryan's trainer early on in his career, like when he was young.
Yeah,
I remember reading that somewhere.
Yeah, so they had that relationship there. They already had that contact. So, good stuff there, brothers. Let me get these comments before we go to our next topic, because we know Hopper's ready to jump on to this one. Big bad news coming out the Canelo camp continues. All right, so we got some comments right here. JC, Ryan wants to grow his own brand, but I think also got butthurt that Canelo called him out. Hey, that's definitely fair, and I agree with that. Reynoso doesn't mess around.
JC, right about that one.
What happens as far as Eddy?
Luis Eddy was lacking too. And
yep, goodbye.
That's a great point. Kano Local Sports, the man, the myth, the legend, a.k.a. The Source. When you're doing the Amanda Serrano live, let me know.
Probably the next day, right after her fight.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to do that.
We're going to probably do a pre on that. Guys, listen, if you're listening to the show with the archive or any of our, social medias, or also in through our wherever you hear your favorite podcast uploaded. Hey, listen, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, this is a huge fight. This is a fight that we need to be talking about it more often. I don't think we've ever seen this, right? And I know there's a lot of stuff happening in the back end. There's not getting that what do you call that? Not getting that much attention needed. And we need to, guys. We need to help.
I think the tickets are selling well.
Yeah, it's okay, but not enough like they deserve. These both boxers are going to go at it. For all the marbles, and I think we need to continue. Last night fights against girls too as well. That was a very, very good fight. So hey, listen, women's boxing is growing, and we need to be talking more about that. Gano, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm down to do a free show on it, Gringo. If you are.
No, that's a done deal, man. We'll definitely make that happen, because I don't know a lot of things, but I know my man Conor Local Sports likes the predictions, and he likes to call people out when their predictions are wrong. So he wants a piece of that meat. He wants a pound of flesh. That's what that brother's saying. We know you, brother. We go back like Cracker Jacks, brother. All right, so we got this long one. I got to take a deep breath from my man, Stephen Ruiz. Shout out to him, man. His beautiful family. I tried to rock with Ryan, but he's been around. Talk now, fighting an unknown African fighter. He is top 10 to go, but yeah, I see what you're saying. It's been hard for a fan to defend him. Canelo Pro at 16 or whatever, and the dedication, and he can't even understand Ryan not taking it serious, or Reynoso. They only know hard work. So, that's what we've been saying, man. Yeah, appreciate the comments, and that's the thing. If you work hard and you have a certain expectation to, what it takes to get to that level, right? You want the people around you to bring you up, not bring you down and be a distraction. And I think that's kind of what it ultimately boils down to. That's why Eddy was removed. And I knew for sure he was really entrenched deeply in that stable. So that was actually, a good wake-up call, and JC, good call out on that. So let's get to our next thing, man. So, the Teófimo Ryan Garcia saga continues in the boxing world, but hey, the boxing world revolves around the man right now. The pound for pound, whether you agree or not, he definitely moves the needle as far as the big fights, and that's Canelo Alvarez. He had some options to go with, either a 2-fight deal with DAZN, fighting Bivol and Triple G deal, and then he had the option of a 1-fight deal, which I really thought he'd take, versus
why are you thinking we're going to take that? First of all, less money, and second, against who? Against who? Against who? Against who?
You're breaking up, Manny. All right, so Manny, Hopper, what's your thoughts? Because Manny's breaking up really bad.
I'm back. Am I back?
No, I can hear you.
You're not breaking up. He's just messing with you because you I can hear you clearly, brother. No, I mean, can we eliminate the Jamal Charlo possibility since he was in jail, booked, or whatever's going on over there? Was arrested Friday. Somebody said, not my joke, but somebody said that Jamal went to great lengths to duck Canelo. He went to jail. So.
That's dedication right there. But no, it was definitely for me, like just honestly keeping it 100 as we do, brothers, is I thought he was going to take the deal being Canelo because that's the name we kept hearing. And it was a one fight deal. So to me, I felt like, okay, where there's smoke, there's fire. Usually, I know is boxing, it's not necessarily the case. So I really thought that's the direction they were going to go with because it gave the autonomy of, Canelo to kind of move around, 2-fight deal, even though I'm fine. And I really like that first fight with Bivol. I love it, actually. Yeah, that's going to be great.
Don't you like the second one, Gringo? Come on,
No, see,
come on, man. I mean, we have the guy in the intro. Or you want to say like, I don't want to touch his name. Don't want to touch his name.
Gringo was the only one that voted for that clip. He's the only one who wants the Triple G in there.
What's up, D-Style?
I always preferred the fights with one of the 175 guys, man.
Right.
Y'all know my thoughts on Jamal. I don't think he had nothing. At 160, he has a pretty weak resume. He has no resume at 168. I think if Canelo would have chosen him, it would have been a straight up cherry pick, in my opinion. Because
that would be a cherry picking for you instead of doing a Bivol.
Absolutely.
Well, definitely. No, Bivol's a dangerous guy.
No, I'm saying.
Bivol's only 31. He can box. He's got power. He completely undressed. Was it Joe Smith Jr., right? Just completely.
You got it.
Yeah. So no, this is a dangerous fight for Canelo. I think he could. And I'm gonna say it now. He could lose this fight against Bivol. I would not be surprised if he loses this fight against Bivol. That's how dangerous I think it is.
Whoa, and that's big.
All right,
so
I think so. I think he can't possibly.
Now let's talk a little bit about that.
At worst, the second best lightweight. What do you think? Light heavyweight. At worst, the second best behind Beaterbeam.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I rank them.
Is that fair?
Then I have Zurdo, and then I have Smith. I mean, for me.
Yeah, I mean, in a good amount of fights and good power punching. I mean, 19.
They're all dangerous as hell. I mean, but to your point, it does feel always. I hate catch weights. I hate having a guy move up. That just to me, and then he doesn't have the greatest resume. Now I know people really want Jamal Charlo. They wanted that fight to happen. There's a lot of fans, and there's a big swell as far as fan interest. Bivol is a lesser-known, non-American fighter. But to me, as far as knowing boxing and knowing what he can do and being in a tough fight where he's going to be put on the big stage, I think it is a great fight. And, again, I was surprised, but happily surprised in, 175. Honestly, and I'll keep saying this because the year's still going on, I was really hoping that Canelo would say that he's going, just like he's going on that run for that he did for 168. I was hoping he went for a run for 175. That was my hope. But if nothing else, this at least opens that possibility with the fight with Bivol. But we'll see. I mean, bottom line, we know what his schedule looks like, and now everybody else can make their fights because everybody waits on Canelo.
That's a good point. Gringo. Hopefully now we get to see some kind of Benavidez versus Fan versus Charlo. We got to get some kind of combination out of those guys, man. They're in the same stable. Why it's not happening?
Yeah.
We know why, because they're
also heard and read that Boo Andrade might be able to move up in weight, so he should be fighting, Benavidez. So now that Canelo it's kind of consolidated all the belts at the 168. He is entitled to do whatever the fuck he wants, which I agree, and I haven't heard any haters yet saying he's going up in cherry picking. He's going to go up for continue his legacy, and then after that, he'd already anticipated another fight. And this is what I like about Canelo, and this is why I have no problem at all, Canelo doing certain things to add into this legacy, and it's not cherry picking because you're going to get against a very tough opponent. Are we ever going to see, like I've heard people talking, well, is he going to go to Benavidez? Listen, you know, we can't talk about that right now. I think, you know, he could be able to do it in the future, but I think you have got to settle something extremely important for some fans out there, that they still believe that Triple G has been the fighter after Mayweather that has given Canelo a lot of problems, to the point people still believe that, you know, Triple G won one of the fights. So let's settle things up. Let's settle things up right now. And let me tell you, my friend Gringo here, the #1 Triple G fan, he had given up on having a third fight. And look, all of a sudden we are all wowed, and I'd rather see Triple G Canelo 3 than seeing him fight Charlo, for the reason that we just saw this weekend. Doesn't represent, you know, what boxing, you know, an icon in boxing. He's outside the ring, he's just trash, and inside the ring, well, also trash. You're always talking, and you know, can we see him walk the walk? I don't know. Just because you're a champion, or just because you beat a couple guys out there to be able to be what you are, or you're actually the PBC, you know, brand, that doesn't entitle you to come up and say, listen, there's a huge difference between Charlo and Canelo, man. And I tell you what, Charlo's, sit down. And I'm not gonna say wait, because you ain't getting a chance and opportunity. I like what I see at the 168. Let them kill each other. Go up there, Canelo. You know, get another belt. And then, you know, fight that third fight. That's gonna bring a lot of attraction. And listen, if someone knows best about this to bring good fights, and he's still making money while doing so, come on, man. Eddie Hearn in the DAZN. Dude, I mean, why do we complain about these kind of stuff? Why are we complaining about Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, what they're doing in the DAZN? It's just they're giving him an opportunity. What he deserved was to work hard in his life. So I'm up for that, bro. I'm pretty excited that I can see the schedule being built. And no other champion has ever done that. They're always taking their time, pacing themselves. Let me see what works best for me. No, I fucking, you know, I'm an undisputed 168, and I already told everyone what I'm going to do in my next second 2 fights. After he fights Bibal, I can't wait to see what he's got next. And we all kind of have an idea what he could do. Cruiserweight, maybe. But anyway, you know, he's the type of guy that wants to. Well, he's the type of guy that wants to wow everyone, and I'm not bullish like, you know, like my buddy Hero Hopper, but you know, al César lo que es del César. Y te voy a decir una cosa, Canelo ahora mismo nos está dando esa emoción de donde quiera que va, ahí está. You know, and I know that Eddy yesterday was talking about that he wanted what's his game, Ryder to fight, you know, John Ryder to fight Canelo. Come on, I'll talk a little bit more about that fight. So I was pretty upset, but John Ryder, Canelo.
Well, I mean, he did become the.
He wanted him to fight in London or in England.
Just because Canelo wants to fight in the UK, that doesn't entitle for you to. First of all, Ryder lost last night. They gave him the fight.
Not according to Boxing Rec. Not according to Boxing Rec. Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
But hey, hold on, Gringo. Before we move on, since we're still talking about Charlo, you know what would be a great fire fight for Charlo? If we could get done, I know the politics of it, put him against Munguia. That's a fight that would be fucking. It'll sell too.
No, it would definitely sell. So, you know, we can say what we want about, you know, Charlo, Big Charlo, that is, because Jermel, we're big fans of him.
Jermel.
Yeah, we love him.
No,
but
Jermel wants all the smoke. Jermel's a G.
Yeah. So, but as far as Big Charlo, you know, he's a name too, obviously, and I think he could definitely sell. Just want to get to some comments real quick. All right, so good comment here from my man, the myth, the legend, El Capitan of the HCP in the house. Real boxing talk. No matter who he fights, a segment of fans will bitch, and that's talking about Canelo.
Yep.
Another Stephen Ruiz comment. Canelo fights Bivol and takes the winner between Joe Smith and Beterbiev, and Canelo unifies second division in 2 years. GG gets knocked out, and I said it, and he has fire emoji 3 times because he believes.
Gringo, what do you got to say about that? What do you got? Gringo lost his passion for GGG, man. I hate it. I would be jumping up and down, Gringo, if I were you.
I don't jump, and no, I'm not. So I'm excited. Here's the thing: as far as any fight, I'm always you know how any other sports, the big day for them is when their schedule comes out. Oh, look who we're going to fight. So to me, I think boxing fans, we relive that. We talk about woulda, coulda, shoulda. When fights are confirmed, irregardless of who the fight's between, especially if it's a competitive fight and something, you know, an exciting fighter is involved with it, I'm always excited. Now, this one, I didn't have that same feeling. I said this 2 years ago, and I still feel that same way, that Triple G was hanging on to get to this fight, and credit to him and his team for getting that fight, the third fight. And I don't see it going too well. He
has to win his next fight, though.
No, that's true, bro. I see
probably that one in Japan.
Yeah, I definitely do see a possibility of what Steven Ruiz said about a stoppage. It's not the elder realm of possibilities for sure. A few more comments here. Another one from the man, El Capitan D-Style. The arrest may actually help sell the fight. Absolutely. People like a redemption story. They can sell it as Jamal trying to bounce his life back, and absolutely he's going to need to, because, man.
Well, I mean, it's going to sell the fight. The fight's going to sell due to his opponent.
No, definitely.
I'm going to be honest, because right now, to be honest, I mean, it hasn't sold anything for BBC right now.
Well,
I mean, the only thing that really sold pretty good is when they did that doubleheader that Saturday. Remember that?
Oh,
that is the only time, because they had them both.
Yeah,
that's the only thing, right? So,
yeah,
I
that
mean,
was a great fight, too.
That was a great fight.
Exactly. So I don't know. This is a good one there. I'm gonna post this one real quickly, Sean, because I think Remy's got a point. Rosado beat Jacobs, so it's karma. Ooh, we're gonna talk about it a little bit later on that one.
Shout out to Remy, man. Shout out, saludos, brother, man. Appreciate you, man. Anytime you check in, it's always raising the bar for the show, man. Much love. So some big things, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, because that's what I do sometimes. I'm gonna go ahead and
sometimes
on quarterback. Yeah, pretty much every show. So I was thinking, like, Daniel Jacobs. I know people want to talk about what did or didn't happen, but man, I have to go ahead and get this out, especially with my man D-Style listening, because I know he had some thoughts on Boots in comparison to Virgil Ortiz. Somebody called out Virgil Ortiz as far as not really believing in him being as great as people have been building him up and talking about him on, you know, being the next elite fighter. And that is the man, the guy who fights anybody who wants to smoke. Shout out to Sean Showtime Porter on the Porter Way podcast, saying that, you know, he's just not seeing it like a lot of people are. What's your guys' thoughts on that? And there was even some talk about Porter coming out of retirement and, you know, them fighting. And, you know, what does it mean anything to you guys? Any thoughts at all?
Yeah, you're talking about. He said that about Boots.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Boots.
He said that. Sean Porter said that about Boots, and he even clarified the statement. And the way Sean Porter puts it, he's a very well-spoken man. He's a smart guy. I think his opinion is fair, because he says that what his issue was that everybody was crowning Boots already. And I kind of had a similar issue with that early in Canelo's career, when I would tell everybody, I was like, man, you guys are crowning this guy. He hasn't even fought anybody. And I think that's the same way Porter feels about Boots. That he takes offense to when people say Boots or wash. Boots will beat up Crawford, Spence, Thurman, Porter. And that's all Porter's statement is: let the fights happen. Let Boots get in there with some of the bigger guys, and then we'll see how he plays. And I think that's all Sean Porter's point. He didn't call him. In his clarification, he said that he is a talented guy. He's going to be the next star, but let's wait before we crown this guy the king. You know, let's take a step back. Let's wait for the fights to happen, and let's see what he got then when the fights do happen. I think that was his whole issue, man. I don't think he meant to diss him that bad, you know, to say that he sucks or anything like that. But I think that's all he meant.
No, and good stuff, brother. Basically, tap the brakes. Because I know something that's been mentioned before, you know, like in the HCP, when they have that, you know, debate that we like to have, who is the next guy? Is it Boots, Jerome Boots Ennis, or is it Virgil Ortiz? And, you know, you got to look, one thing that, you know, even though he took some damage and took some hits and got hurt in his last fight, Kavaliauskas is way better than anybody Boots fought. So you look at the top two fights that Virgil Ortiz is Kavaliauskas and my man Mighty Mo Hooker, compared to Delorme and Lipinets, it's not even the same level, man. No. It's you know, and then there's a thing between being, when you use the word boxer, being slick and moving in and out and having a lot of athletic ability and just prowess to kind of control the ring. But there's also another thing, something to be said too, about being just a fighter, man. Somebody go in there, bang, and have great combinations, cut the ring off, and just kind of control with their strength. So it's not really to talk about that. It was just kind of more about because both of those guys are great, and I can't wait to see them continue on their careers. But just about the comments, Manny, what was your thoughts about the comments? Are you still kind of on the same line with me and Hopper in regards? It was just basically like tap the brakes, or did you see more into it as far as what Porter said? In regards to people perception of Boots?
Yeah, no, I mean Porter has earned the right to say and have his own perspective. First of all, he's done it in the ring, and then he also is doing it outside the ring. He's a great commentator, and he tells us like it is, and he's entitled to his opinion. And we're as fans, if I'm watching a boxing card and Sean Porter is speaking, I'm gonna listen because he's giving that boxer insight, honest perspective, and I like that. He didn't disrespect Boots Ennis. He just said that right now he hasn't basically fought anyone, and he's absolutely right. So what Ennis wants to do with this, he wants to get attention because he's not getting attention. If you take a look at the ranks right now at the welterweight, Virgil Ortiz ahead of him on the WBA. Virgil Ortiz is ahead of him with the WBC. I don't know why the IBF's got him number one contender right now, and then Virgil is behind it. But when you look at the WBO, Virgil is ahead. So the conversation is more towards Virgil, and I think that Ennis wants to be in that mix. But at the same time, can you imagine if this actually triggers something inside Porter that can say, I'm coming out of retirement to fight you. Now we have a fight for Boots Ennis that will actually elevate his career. So all he's doing right now is fishing, right? All he's doing is doing the same thing everyone does through social medias. And, I may be paraphrasing because I don't remember exact the same comments. Get out of retirement and I'll show you, right? But that ain't going to happen. So who is he going to fight next? We know for a fact right now, Virgil Ortiz has the lead as it pertains to, the next, contender to contend for a world title at the welterweight. And then Boots Ennis kind of like left a little behind. So I think the only way he can actually maintain his pace, not due to the fights, but also through trash talking. Now, can we see a good fight against Boots Ennis? We want to. I can't wait for him to start fighting guys like Kyle Velasquez. I can't wait to see him fight. Hey, why don't you go ahead and fight Danny Garcia? I mean, Danny Garcia is up for more money. He can actually, former champion, beating a former champion, whether you think it's washed out or not. Hey, that will be a very good fight. There are a lot of great fights that can be made at the welterweight, but the problem is that no one wants to fight Ennis? Is that the case? No one wants that smoke, and then the only option he's got is to trash talk to see if he can, awake the beast. Be careful what you wish for, because that could actually happen. And I'd love to see that. Sean Porter will come out of retirement. Who knows? But if the hype's still building up, that's some of the fights that Ennis needs to elevate him to the level where people are actually talking about him at the 147. I think even Ben Connor is actually, they're talking more about him than Boots Ennis. Right?
Yeah, as far as competition, he fight, Chris Algieri, knocked him out bad.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you want to look as far as resume, you could argue that Conor Ben has a better resume too. And I know people are really high on him. So we got some comments I want to get to. Look like our brother Hopper had to hop off. That's what happens when you're the man. El Capitan, D-Style, HCP. Think about it, Manny. He's calling you out, brother. Picture the show. Fight camp starts with the gate in prison opening. Dude, tower, rifle, sunglasses. Jamal walks out in the car, picking him up, walking in slow motion. It's cool walk away. Now that's the introduction, man, and that's how you get started, and that's how he heads to the arena.
That's right.
We talk about a true redemption story. D-Style bringing it. Shout out to our man
El Chido,
brother. Saludos, brother. Appreciate you, man. Much love.
Raza.
All right, G-Funk in the house. G-Funky, making it happen, brother. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you, sir. Shout out over there in Sacktown. All right, shout out to D-Style. Jamal should get a prison tat.
I agree with you, man.
That's a done deal. I mean, if I'm going to prison, that's what I'm doing first thing. That's the only thing. And I'm getting out of there. All right, so yeah, that would definitely sell the fight. Shout out to the panel. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Miss Denise in the house. Love you guys. D-Style has another one. He can come at the 168 prison champion and comes out of prison. Charlo versus Canelo for the real undisputed. Hey, say what you want, man, because I mean, you know, I've had some people that had to be incarcerated. Prison is no joke. And if somebody says that they boxed in prison, they're a boxing champion, they're a champion. All right. That you want no part of that smoke. All right. So shout out again to El Cheeto, Remy, D-Style. All right. So Jared Smith, Virgil fights Boots.
I mean, you know, Virgil fights Boots. So just think about this. It makes sense, right? But really, do you think that's going to happen? Do you think you're going to stop both of them's career right now? Although one loss doesn't define your career, but is it for the best interest for the promoters to put two young, talented guys together? No belt in stake? No. They're going to, in my opinion, they are going to leave that fight, first of all, when it doesn't matter, or when one of them has a championship. Now it matters. They're both working and grinding to get there. But if I was a promoter, I wouldn't do it either. Just think about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fight that I want. You know, thank you, Jared Smith, for doing it. And then,
Right.
you know, we all do. You know, that's the new dream fight to me. I know people talk about, you know, Spence versus Crawford, but you know that fight isn't going to seem to come to fruition. And then also too, those guys are, you know, one guy is past his prime because he survived a, you know, devastating car crash. So that fight is not going to happen. And if it does, you know, a lot of the luster is gone. So yeah, we'll see as far as where the fight goes. I do agree with you, Jared, as far as here. I want to say bomb. I don't ever call
not bomb, but it's listen, there's one thing that you stay active. And with someone that's got talent and has, you know, made it to, you know, what is it, number 3 at the WBO. So if you're ranked top 5 or top 10, you're good. If you are ranked in a division top 5, that's even better, right? So we can't really come out here, first of all, discuss that, hey, listen, it's a bum. It's an undefeated guy. The problem is the guy has no power whatsoever. 21 fights, 2 knockouts.
Yeah.
Still, does that make sense? So it's not a bum. I get it. It's not what we, the public, want to see. But if you put your manager's training promoter, trainer's hat, you're going to think about keeping my boxer active throughout this pandemic, which we probably see in the light at the end of the tunnel. And you still have him still, you know, in camp, active, training, fighting, ready for that super major fight. Because I think Virgil will have a super major fight soon. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I think he's after Maxson, he will be entitled to at least be considered, whether it's Crawford or who knows. That could be also as well Errol Spencer. And listen, a lot of people trash talked about Errol Spencer. I get it. His only issue was to be in a car accident, being dumbass, to speed up on a Ferrari without a seatbelt. That was his only mistake. But if you think about it, when he came back from that devastating injury, who did he fight? Not a bum. Okay? Now he hurt his eye, you know, couldn't fight Pacquiao. Who knows how he's feeling? I guess, you know, we talked about some brothers that spar with him and, you know, hey, this guy's legit. And
right.
Now he's fighting a champion, not a bum. He's a champion. Maybe not the caliber of, you know, Errol Spence, but he's a champion. So just think about that. So I think I would, in my eyes, I would probably see Virgil maybe in the future fighting. You know, hey, 2 locals. Let's get it at it. AT&T Stadium. Can we pack that stadium? Can we go over 75,000 people with 2 local guys and, you know, break Canelo's record here in AT&T Stadium? We're about to see that Errol Spence and Ugas here. Can you imagine 2 locals going at it for all the marbles? That is huge.
Well, yeah, I think it eventually, you know, the big fights in his future. And, you know, you do have fights that are stay busy fights because for whatever reason, the timing, you can't get the specific guy you're looking for. So, yeah, I want to get this back to this comment real quick. D-Style, I don't get why boot fans get off on Trash and Ortiz. That's just the competitive nature, brother. I mean, anytime you have a strong fan base, that's just kind of how it goes when they have the next guy.
He's not getting the attention, D. He's
Yeah,
not. He's not.
Kind of one of those things. So
El Donnie, what?
PR78, shout out, brother. And it's Crawford would be good. Totally agree. If we can get that mandatory for Crawford's belt, sign me up for that one. Sign me up. So
I'd love to see that. Why not? Why
all
not?
right, so let's go ahead and let's get ready to close out our last topic before we close out of here. And Manny's gonna go ahead and help us out. What's your thoughts, man, as far as the matinee madness? Daniel Jacobs came up short, man. So what's your thoughts and takeaway from the fight, the card in general? I know you was a little bit of frustration, just overall instant reaction, man.
Well, first of all, not a bad matinee card yesterday. Didn't really do a lot, only just, set my ass in the bed and just watch boxing all day, which is good. I love it. I love the fact that at 1 o'clock in the morning, I can just be sitting down and watching boxing. But here's my problem, and I think we did talk a little bit about this last week, is about the poor judging is what gets me frustrated. I don't have a problem spending 4 or 5 hours watching boxing, but my problem is when I see something that is not, and I'm not the pro here. I'm not the freaking pro. They are the pro. They're the judges. They're the ones that are right next to the ring. I'm only watching it through TV and seeing it, but some things are obvious. And my concern right now is that although we praise Eddie Hearn a lot, Matchroom Boxing, the DAZN, lately these judges' decisions are killing it. And I want to go ahead and start by, first of all, Felix catch against Madibad. That was a very good, interesting fight. In my eyes, which I was able to see it again, for me, I think Madibad won that fight. Yes, Cash was very active, the beginning of the rounds and a little bit maybe in the mid rounds, but, he got knocked down twice. And it was very difficult for him to recover. And then that 10 round, all he did is just grab and grab and grab. So when you have judges seeing this fight, 7-3, 8-2, I mean, come on, give me a break. Oh, wait a minute, Felix Cash. Oh, that's a house fighter, right? So what do you need to do to prove that, for you not get, you get your decision, you have to knock him out. And then Daniel Jacobs, he started off on a good note. He kind of, I don't know, we did see, I don't want to say his age, but we did see him a little bit sloppy. He was trying to land that right overhand hook like he normally does. He was never to be successful on that. But when he got into his boxing skills and started to jab a little bit more and throw a little bit more combinations, leaning himself into the body as well, I mean, honestly, the only rounds that I did see Jacobs in trouble was round 6 and 7. I think 7 is the one that Jacob was like in a lot of trouble. But anything after that, I don't know. For me, I think I did see Jacobs winning it. And the same thing. I saw it 7-5. I gave an 8-4 at the beginning. But I watched the fight again.
For Jacobs.
I watched the fight again and I said, no, wait a minute. I gotta give that benefit to Ryder. But how have we heard Eddie Hearn talking about Ryder could be the next potential, challenger for Canelo? I mean, trust me, everyone wants Canelo. And then you see a house fighter in his backyard fighting against a former champion. And I get it what Remy said earlier. Karma's a bitch, right? Rosado actually did beat Jacobs, and he got the decision and actually turned around. But when you have a performance like, in my eyes, Jacob had last night, and you fans can actually disagree. But why do we have to go through this when someone's about to revive his career and your fight's been stolen from you for a potential guy that the only thing he has to his benefit, Sean, is that he is from the UK, he's from England, and Canelo wants to fight over there, and he's a 168-pound. Oh, now you want to build something around it so probably can be either attractive for Canelo to cherry pick? Is that what you're looking? I mean, there's no way Ryder can beat Canelo. I'm sorry. No disrespecting John Ryder. I think he's a great fan. I think he's working hard. He fought pretty well yesterday, but it wasn't enough. That's my point, and that's what I want to bring.
No, man, good stuff here. And, I can see the chat is still fired up about Boots, man. Nothing like Boots and Virgil. Man, to get the blood boiling, and some good comments there and some comparison as far as the NBA. Anytime that Kobe's brought up, it's got my attention. Shout out to the greatest of all times. But man, you bring up some great points as far as the judging being just frustrating from the fan perspective. As far as, it's hard to get people to buy in. Like, this is what you want to watch. It's a good fight. Follow this sport. It does have some great moments. But that's the thing. The moments become less and less and far and few in between because you have so often judges just taking away a lot of the great feelings you had watching that fight. And I hate that. I try, even though we do this podcast, of not bring the judges up, but they bring themselves into the forefront by taking away decisions that are, quote unquote, questionable. It is what it is. Ryder got the decision. He won. It was in his backyard, the house fighter, the whole thing. Daniel Jacobs, he must have not done enough to separate himself. And that's disappointing that took place. And that's just kind of one of those things, man. A 7-5 fight, though, to me is only separated by one round, pretty much 1 to 2 rounds. So those can always go, one way or the other. And it's just kind of where boxing is right now. And I would love to have an opportunity to change it. One day, maybe I will. But until then, we're just going to keep on rocking with it, keep on rocking and making it happen. So,
well, that move to 168. I know for like promotion interest, you don't want to see a Jacob Canelo rematch. It makes no sense. But you want to be able to see someone fresh trying to be able to possibly get that opportunity.
Definitely.
But anyway, when you know a little bit of boxing and then you are a hardcore fan, it doesn't take a lot to add one to another. And so that's my point. And I want to, I want to, alert the boxing fan, don't get frustrated like me. It happens. Is it going to get fixed? No. But at the end of the day, you spend so much time dedicating to a sport that's hurt. And then these things are continuing. And then, you see the man behind the scenes, Eddie Hearn, just talking comfortably like nothing's wrong. And no one's doing shit about it. Right? And I'm going to be very honest. I don't really do this a lot. But I actually enjoyed them UFC last night. Yes, pay for that shit. Right? Kind of alleviate myself so that way my Saturday, it started kind of bad. It turned out to be a lot better. Right? So, man, it is frustrating. And I just want boxing to take action. I want the commissioner to do something about it. Because we can't keep doing this. And eventually, Sean, it's going to happen on a major fight that everything's on the line.
Right.
And, it's not fun, man. I put myself on the boxer's shoes, and I don't know how would I react if I did the best performance of my life and it's been taken away from me. Whether it's I'm a former champ, which I would never be a former champ, but whatever it is, it's devastating for the career, the hard work, everything you put together to finally showtime, and you're taking it away from it. That's the the fucked up shit here.
Yeah, man, just
not at all.
Same thing, different day. It's disappointing. But, one thing that's not disappointing is when you guys tune in and check us out live and also check us out on the audio version of this show. We continue to do shows every Sunday, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. Eastern. And I had to do math real quick, kind of embarrassing. 8 a.m. on that Pacific Coast. We love you guys, all the world, and appreciate the support. So, Manny, any closing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, shout out to our boy Amo Williams. Oye, Javier Francisco Maciel. Great job, man. All you did there is stood there and took the best punches, whether it was in the body or the stomach. Man, I really, throughout the entire card, I really enjoy how Amo Williams is actually progressing against stronger opponents. This is one of those guys that you got to keep an eye on. He's very exciting. He's carry himself well. We have seen him. We're a fan of him. I mean, Texas, Austin in the house, bro. Amo Williams, congratulations. Knockout in the 6th round, but it was a very difficult fight for him. All he did dominate it, but I mean, Macia was a tough son of a gun. So can't wait to see what's the future holds for them. On the other hand, man, the best 2 females in the world are going at it. We need to be talking more about this. Madison Square Garden will be hosting Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. Yo, listen to me. If you are Puerto Rican, non-Puerto Ricans, just boxing fans all over the world, we need to really be talking and pushing the women's boxing into the level that, they deserve. They do work hard. It is a fucking tough sport to be committed to, and I just can't wait to see how this thing settles once and for all coming up soon. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, super excited about this, and you should too. EnVivo.
All right. Hey. All right, man. Well said. Love the passion. And also be looking out. We mentioned our weekly show we have every Sunday, but my man Manny's chomping at the bit, man. He wants to do a live during the week. So be looking, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll find a good day for that. And not just English lives, but also do a Spanish live too, previewing fights and upcoming special we have with Elcano, because he just called us out on our own show. Shout out to him. We'll be doing.
Oye, Cano, ¿cuándo nos vas a invitar a tu show? ¿Ah? Papi, estamos esperando. We're waiting for you to invite us to your show. Oye, Cano Lo Poco Sport. If you haven't heard him, this guy knows, understands inside and outside boxing, and he is super cool and awesome to listen. Check him out and subscribe to his channel. He's got a lot of stuff going on for himself and for boxing as well.
Yeah, man. He's
and that's not paid,
man. He's definitely working hard, but also working extremely hard is at HCP Network, and we're a proud member of. They're doing great content weekly. Check them out, and make sure you subscribe to all these great channels. And they have weekly shows that they do lives, but they have great content. Like my man D-Style is putting up great posts all the time. G Funky has some great stuff. He recently did a breakdown of a fantasy matchup that was really extremely entertaining. So these guys bring it all the time, man. So, if you're into boxing and you want to just talk about woulda, coulda, shoulda, talk about actual fights that are coming up and talk about fighters and, real things and just real boxing talk, that's the channel. That's the support HCP Network. So we appreciate you guys, man. Have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday. It's been a great show. And as always, man, much love. Take care. Love us, hate us, debate us. HCP talking that real boxing talk, and we out.
EnVivo.
It's Maestro A. It's Kenny T. I'm back in New York City after a weekend in Las Vegas.
We got Power Punchers episode 2, episode dos. Hit that like button as you come in.
Your boy Dave from the 408 coming to you all the way from my podcast studio in San Jose, Califas. You know what time it is. It's time for the shoe shine.
Everyone, welcome to Al Chile. We got my partners in crime, Run PMC and Nopal with us and visiting us for the first time. Al Chile means keeping it
style real. Boxing. Thanks to those joining me live. Those that be joining me here on Archive. I've been joined by the new co-host of ATP, Nancy, from the Boxing Republic.
It's my birthday, and then obviously, Red says to me, these are my girls. You have to make sure you do the interview for them. I said, you know what? Even though it's my birthday, we'll do it. No problem.
Oh, you're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All-star panel, the round table, number 58. Really good weekend.
Seguimos en vivo. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Como siempre, Mari Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper.
Hey.
Always breaking it down like it is, like it should.
Welcome to the Ringside Reporters Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we're going to talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib.